Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Damo here, back with another one. And in this one, I'm going to be going over the best way to play Pyramid Head. Um, right now I'm just going to be going over a couple of builds that I think are his best builds. Where I rate him on the tier skill level, I would say is probably, I want to say a little bit behind Freddy, but above Ghostface, right? Because he is an M1 killer, but if used correctly, I think he's about as strong as Freddy. In the sense that Ghostface is strong, but for some reason Freddy has this insane ability to just scare everybody, and they really don't do anything when you play as Freddy. And you're an M1 killer, but you manage to get through everybody being an M1 killer, and they don't finish gens. If you do it the right way, that's kind of how it feels with Pyramid Head. I think the one thing that Pyramid Head lacks in that sense is map pressure. Where Freddy has a lot of map pressure, you have to control the map very hard with Pyramid Head to force situations, which is why I kind of rate him lower. It's like you can't really compare Billy to Spirit because you don't really have to force a situation in Spirit. You can kind of play, and the situations will just happen to appear where you can take advantage of them. Whereas Billy, you kind of have to force them to make a mistake in order to slug in order to win, and that's why Billy isn't as good, because it relies on survivors making mistakes. It's kind of the same here, but I would say Pyramid Head does it a little bit better. Maybe that's because he's a new killer. People are like a little bit scared, but I don't know, because I played against some people at really high ranks that have completely dominated me. It was maybe me not knowing stuff, but I think at this point I pretty much have it down. I did a lot of testing. I've been able to win against basically an entire lobby of all red ranks over and over and over. I even face the Survivor Friends teams. I usually even 2K against those people, which is kind of crazy. Like, I really don't do anything less than a 2K with this guy. Always Brutal Pip, or sorry, Brutal Killer, Black Pip basically, or above, always. So that's why I rate him really high on the list, because yeah, even though he's an M1 killer, even though he's a little bit less than Freddy, he always black pips, at least in my cases, against the highest, and I'm talking about the highest level of survivor. And yeah, and I honestly love the way he plays. Although he is a little bit clunky, I believe that's the way he's supposed to be made. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling now. To get into the builds, here's gonna be the first build, okay? Um, we won't talk about the add-ons. I have these add-ons on, but we're not going to talk about them. Forget the add-ons for now. Right now, we're going to be talking about the build. So this is the first build, right? And the second build is extremely similar. We pretty much just changed one perk. But so the first build is Pop Goes the Weasel for Gen Pressure. Just if you can do it, always use Pop Goes the Weasel. If you see a slug opportunity, which is also what this build is about, go for that instead. But yeah, if you can use Pop Goes the Weasel, use it every single time, always. Yeah, so then save the best for last. Save the best for last is actually really good with this guy, because in the sense that just like Deathslinger, a lot of the times you end up faking your ability more so than you use your ability. And they tend to try to dodge, and then they lose distance. That's the same here. If you're not chasing the obsession, you pretty much just want to fake your ability. Just slam it into the ground and pretend like you're going to do it, drag it around for a while, and then they'll start to go back and forth, and they'll lose a bunch of distance. They'll be right in front of your face. Stop doing it. Boom. Hit them. Get a save the best for last stack. If they are your obsession, try your best, your absolute best, to hit them with your shockwave. If you see a free hit, you can't ignore it, obviously, or if it's the last hit to get them down, take it. But yeah, go for that. But other than that, also when you're facing non-obsession people, it is okay to go for the shockwave. It doesn't count as a stack, but it also doesn't count against you, so it's like, you know, whatever. And if you have to use it, if you see the opportunity where you're forced to use it, where I'll show you in this game, where it's just you cut the survivor off and they can't do anything. It's so obvious you have to go for it. It's an easy down. You have to go for it. It's a hit. You can't not. So it's just worth not getting a stack for, basically, because you still get it down, you still get Pop Goes the Weasel. But yeah, anyways, that'll be more explained in the game. And then, boom, we got Infectious Fright to Slug. At high ranks, I feel like you have to Slug. If you don't Slug, you're not gonna get anywhere. Um, you don't have to like slug all four people. Like honestly, you could still hook all four people 3 times. Sometimes you can't. Just depends on the lobby, but being able to slug and cause the pressure, especially because this guy doesn't have a lot of map pressure, the slugging pressure is very helpful for him. And the Infectious Fright and also the Deathbound helps with that, like extremely helps with that. So what Deathbound does basically is when a survivor heals another survivor for one health state at least 32 meters away from the killer, the survivor performing the healing action will scream, revealing their location and activating Deathbound for the next 60 seconds. During that time, the survivor will suffer from the Oblivious status effect when further than 8 meters away from the healed survivor. So basically, anyways, basically, if you get Infectious Fright, right, boom, you get it down, Infectious Fright goes off, you chase the second guy. Second chase goes for a little too long, boom, you get the second guy down, you go and hook him, they go and heal your slug. When they heal the slug, as long as he's more than 32 meters away, the person who healed him was going to scream, just like Infectious Fright. Then, if they leave more than 8 meters from each other, they will be oblivious, meaning they will not hear your terror radius. I believe you still have a red glow in front of you, but they don't hear your terror radius, and boom. It's really good, actually. It causes a lot of pressure because they aren't expecting you, especially if they go more than 8 meters away. And a lot of the times they think they're so far away that you just won't go for them, but it's almost, sometimes it's like barbecue and chili without having barbecue and chili. It's really nice. And you don't even have to get a hook for it. It's just basically you get it anytime anybody heals. As long as they're 32 meters away, it's really insane. It even works when you're not slugging, honestly, because people will still heal. You know what I mean? So, anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much this build. So the only thing that I would switch, genuinely, is Deathbound for Ruin. This is the second build. I think that this build is a little bit better because, um, well, it's like 50-50, right? Deathbound is like you don't have to rely on anything, but this build doesn't really work that great against Survivor Friends. Because Survivor Friends will literally just heal in your terror radius. They're that crazy. Granted, you know that they'll be within 32 meters if they do heal within your terror radius, but you never know where that is, and that could be anywhere, and it's hard to find them after that, and you can't waste a whole lot of time. But you know, it's whatever. It'd be better if they healed outside of your terror radius, is what I'm saying. And when they're Survivor Friends and the first person screams outside of the terror radius, they're gonna know to heal inside your terror radius every other time that they heal. So that gets annoying. I noticed it stopped working a lot later on when I started to win over and over and over, and then it was Survivor Friends back to back to back. Just kind of how matchmaking is, and the Survivor Friends, they just knew what they were doing. I noticed that because they were more cocky and confident, they never went for my ruin, and that actually caused me to win the game a lot of the times because not only do I have ruin, I have Pop Goes the Weasel. So by the time they realize that ruin is hurting them extremely and they break it, I still have Pop Goes the Weasel to regress gens and keep them at bay. With the Gen Rush, as well as Infectious Fright still for the slugging, and Save the Best for Last to help with the chases to make the slugging much easier. Yeah, those are pretty much the two best builds that I've been able to come up with. This one, I would say, is a little bit better for Survivor Friends, but is a little bit more risky because it is a totem, and with solo queue, people are more likely to just go around and fuck around and do nothing and break totems. But I will say about 90% of my games, nobody goes for Ruin anymore because people just don't think it's that great, but it's actually kind of good, especially on a build like this, with a person like this. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much going to be it for the builds. Yeah, now we're going to move on to the add-ons, and I will see you guys in a second. Alright, so here we go. We're actually going to be going over his Pyramid's Head's add-ons real quick. So basically, as for the ultra rares, the Iridescent Seal of Metatron, which when sending a survivor to the Cage of Atonement, the auras of all survivors suffering from the torment are revealed for 6 seconds. Now, maybe if you made like a build going around that, I haven't done much with any of that, but the Cage of Atonement I've noticed is not that great. really the smartest way to use that is if they're ever tormented and it's their second hook, you want to use it on their second hook because then they don't get DS and you can hook them right away on the third hook. If it just so happens that you see them and you just catch them off guard and it's a free down, you might as well go for it and they don't have DS, so you don't have to worry about that. I wouldn't suggest tunneling, but what can you do if they run into you? You're gonna go for the down. But anyways, it's not that good. Cage of Atonement is not used that much, so I wouldn't say that this is the best add-on at all, really. And as for the Obsidian Goblet, the execution against the undetectable status effect when standing on the rights of Judgment Trail. So check this out. If I have not tested this either, but if it counts while you're laying it down, then awesome. That would be OP. But if you have to place it down first and then walk over it, I don't know if it's that great. I don't know. I don't know if I would say that it's that good, honestly. Again, I haven't used it, but like if just like thinking about it, there's really no like scenario in which I can think of where this would be that useful. Um, Maybe if you placed it around the entire map, but it's like, I don't know, it's just feels like you're wasting your time doing that. Like you're better off just running at 115% instead of 110 and then just getting downs instead of placing stuff all over the floor. You should really only place it in certain spots. Actually, and I forgot to mention this, so I'll mention it now. With the ruin build, placing your spot, your not your spot, but your what's it called in the ground, putting it all around your ruin. That's really nice. It makes really easy spots turn to really hard totem spots, like Killer Shack, for example, and then you just go straight through the middle of Killer Shack, and then if they enter it, they had to get tormented, and most likely they will run into it because it's Killer Shack, and they'll try to run to it during a chase. But okay, so back to the add-ons though. Anyways, so Crimson Ceremony Book. So injured survivors affected by the torment suffer from the hemorrhage status effect. Not that great. Status effects aren't that great, as well as the lost memory book. Blah blah blah. The oblivious status effect for 15 seconds. Not that great. Um, yeah, 60 seconds. Not that great. But the Scarlet Egg. So check this out. The Scarlet Egg is actually okay. It's not half bad. Considerably increases the killer instinct duration when triggered by Rites of Judgment. So this is kind of good during a chase. If you ever want to go for those fancy little crazy through the wall little range attacks, you can actually do that with this. It's a lot easier to do. I would say you could actually get this consistently if you use this add-on and you know how to use Pyramid Head at its absolute best. You could really do this constantly and hit people through walls constantly. It's actually not half bad. Um, that's one that I would consider. He doesn't have a lot, but that's one I would consider actually using a lot. The burning matte paintings and considerably increase the punishment of the damned attack range. This is what I would consider his best add-on. It makes his attack range longer when you go do the ranged attack, which his ranged attack is honestly it's not that long, which I noticed, and using this helps. Especially because the survivors won't expect it to be that long, so when you go for a crazy long one, a lot of the times they won't even juke it and they'll get hit because it's so long, longer than they expected. So yeah, I would honestly say this one is a good one, but this one is his best by far. This one is his best. So the mannequin foot considerably increases the duration of the trail remaining on the environment. So that's an okay one. So like, oops. So that's an okay one. Imagine combining that with like, say like this one right here, or even like that one, so people get hit more often. Combining that one for like one of those wouldn't be too bad. Moderately increased killer distinct duration. Oh, that's just moderately of the one we've seen. Considerably increase the right sort of power duration. That one would be okay as well. Maybe if you don't have the other add-ons, this would be one you could use, as well as this one could be one that you would use. But other than that, these are just lesser ones of the ones we've already been through up here. You could always combine the wax doll and the other one and make the attack range really long. That would be nice. Combine certain ones if you want to, but yeah, basically these are the best ones and then weaker versions over here. And like I said, combine them if you want to. But that's pretty much it for his add-ons. They're basically really basic, specifically because everybody's getting these type of add-ons nowadays with the status effects, and none of them are really that great. Maybe they could make the status effects better if they worked in a different way, but they don't even really try. They just kind of use those to fill up add-on spots, I noticed, and it's, it's whatever, but it's a waste of add-ons. No one's ever gonna get them, or we're all gonna get them, like a shit ton of them, but no one's gonna use them. But yeah. So anyways, that was pretty quick, but that's gonna be pretty much it for his add-ons. And yeah, now I guess I'm gonna move on to the gameplay. So I will see you guys in the game. All right, here we go. So this is gonna be the gameplay that I'm gonna be going over. I am gonna turn the volume down because I actually had a friend talking in the game while I was playing. So there isn't gonna be any game volume, but hopefully that's all right. Hopefully it doesn't sound too weird with no game volume. Basically, what I'm gonna do from the start, I believe. Well, that's pretty dope. I found somebody instantly, so that's nice. Also, it's very good that that guy was not the obsession because that means I get a stack for my save the best for last. Go ahead and fake that out because I'm using one of the add-ons that make my range a little bit longer. Boom, come over this way. She actually slow vaulted that, and I was able to get the swing in time. I actually have no idea where this guy is. I think he just ends up running away. Let me see. Do I get this? I don't think I do. No. And then I just come back. Boom. Gonna go ahead and pick this guy up. And this is where the fun begins. This is where strategy comes in. So, hold on. I'm gonna let that disappear for just a quick second. If you look down at my build, you'll notice that I have Ruin as well as, okay, well, it's not gonna disappear. If you look at my build, you'll see I have Pop Goes the Weasel as well as Ruin. So, I have a lot of gen regression is pretty much what this build is about. So what you want to do is, I'll go ahead and let this play while I explain. I'm gonna hook this guy over here. Right there is actually what I was doing. I was looking around for 3 gens nearby. I wanted to make sure wherever I hooked this guy that there were 3 gens nearby. Not only that, I also got lucky and my ruin is nearby, which means I can protect all 3 of them and I don't have to worry about, or not all 3 of them, or yeah, all 3 of them. Hold on. Boom. That's a free easy down. So let me go over that as well because that's something that anybody who plays Pyramid Head should know. There is also something that I don't have in this video, and it does still work. I noticed it does still work, but uh, I'll go over that later. I'll go over that at the end of the video, but we'll stick to this for now. Basically, what you can do as Pyramid Head, right, is first of all, you can slam your thing down and stand still. You don't have to move at all. If you let go completely, you can stand still and wait for these people to do this. So you don't have to be moving towards these people, and you can still move side to side and everything. So it's actually kind of helpful. So what you can do is if you wait directly as soon as this guy hits the ground, boom. As soon as he hit the ground, as soon as this person hit the ground, I used my ability, and you'll use it just in time, boom, and you'll be able to hit both of them. The person who got the unhook and the person during the unhook. I actually have no idea how that missed. Maybe it was just barely, barely off the side. I don't think I picked this guy up because DS. Actually, boom, this guy's right here. Dummy, I don't know. I'm trying to stand around the tires like I wouldn't see him in the bright white. Um, Boom. Okay, so I go and chase her. Look. Boom. So let me go over exactly how you need to use his ability. This is the only way to use this ability. Otherwise, it's too easy to counter as survivors. So look, first things first, I'm just going to hold my ability. I'll tell you in this situation what you should be thinking. I'm going to hold my ability until I see this guy curve down this way. This way, this small little area right here is such a narrow pathway and it's just the right enough size to where if you hit your ability in the right spot while they run through and you hit it at the right timing, they cannot escape no matter what. If they try to turn around, you hit them. If they try to continue running, you hit them. If you do it at the perfect timing, you hit them. Now this takes a long time to learn. I say long time, but it's taken me about 2 days to learn to where I can consistently hit it and I make like one mistake or two mistakes a game where I'll just go for a crazy ranged attack that, it's like, oh, whatever. I should have known that was going to miss. But other than that, I do this every single time. Basically, I'm going to go over this again. I'm holding my ability because I see she's running like over here. She's not like right up against it. So I know she's probably trying to fake it. Or if she doesn't fake it, I'm just going to hold my ability and wait for her to go this way. Basically, I think she sees me looking this way, so she's pretending like she's going to come this way. So I turn and shoot this way. And then at the last second, she decided to come through here, and boom. This is the timing. Look where I'm facing. She just started running through here. By the time she sees my stuff coming out of the ground, she'll be about right here, right? Which is exactly where my stuff is about to go. Ready? Boom. Right, basically where this is lined up is right at the end of this wall. Boom. My ability, boom, cuts it right off. Okay? And then this obviously goes to the end of this wall. So as long as she's in the exit way of this area, which she is, and it's a very big range if you do this correctly, she's going to get hit, which obviously, boom, she does get hit. And then boom, there's Infectious Fright. There's another person. I was going to say last person, but there is still another person. Boom, just going to fake this out so he doesn't get the pickup. She's going to keep running. Didn't get my sword down in time to actually do that. So I'm just going to pretty much fake it. I thought she was going to fake it and turn back, but she did not. Instead of chasing her down, instead I'm going to go for this pickup. I know that her DS ran out, so I was like, all right, cool, let me just pick her up. Boom. I try to come back over that way for the other person I had down, but I don't think he. Oh, actually, let me go over this. This is for any killer in general. I kind of started to explain it. This is one, two. There's a gen over here inside the building, three, and I think there's one more back there, four. So one, two, three, four. I'm just gonna circle these four gens plus this hook because look, why would I need to leave this area? This is literally, they're never going to be able to finish anything in this area. I have Pop Goes the Weasel and Ruin. And if they come over here, I have Infectious Fright. And if it goes to end game and they 3-gen themselves, I'm going to have a lot of stack to save the best for last. Like after they get to 3 gens, it's going to be damn near impossible for them to finish anything. Um, Once again, actually, let me just confirm, but I believe, again, in this situation, oops, did not mean to rewind by 10 seconds, meant to pause. I believe I put my ability in the exact right spot where no matter where she went, she had no choice. Let's see here. Boom, I got my sword down in time, so look. By the time she gets to right here, my ability will show up on the ground. Ready? Boom. You see what I mean? Hold on, let me... Oh, wait, what the heck? Okay, right here. Watch this. By the time my ability shows up on the ground, she's lined up where it's going to be. So basically, by the time she has time to react, she's lined up exactly in the middle. Now now it takes time to learn how to line it up literally perfect so they line up in the middle when they see it. It's very hard, but again, you will eventually learn it. It took me just a couple of days to learn. But yeah, so you just hit her. She is not the obsession, but it's okay. No one cares. I actually thought she was gonna go through there. You kind of want to say the best for last stacks, but what can you do? It seemed like she was going to throw it on the pallet, so I just used my ability. She seemed like the type of person to just stand at a pallet and try to throw it down. So boom. Now what I meant to do. Boom, go ahead and hook her. And once again, we're going to come back and start circling these gens. Two people around it. Boom. I'm going to go over that also because this is a really huge one. I want to say this map is very good. A lot of maps where it's like cuts off a lot of corridors, but also allows for a really good end game potential. So any map where the loops are like this, kind of like jungle gyms or like these loops right here, because there's only very small places. I want to say Hawkins, but it's kind of hard to 3-gen on Hawkins because all the walls in the way. There's actually too many walls on that map. Too many narrow hallways, sorry. But Anyways, I'm gonna play and explain why I say that. This map is perfect because look at, so I use my ability. I see she's running in here. Boom. So she has two options. She either fakes it and then I let go of my ability and I chase her down, or she continues to run through here. And once she reaches about right here, the only option she has is to either continue to walk forward this way, or to actually cut through and try to cut around this way, or to cut through and cut around this way. But either way, no matter what she does, she has to go down this middle section. So I'm just going to line my thing up right with the middle section and use my ability. And you actually want to use the ability as fast as possible. That's something that'll help you learn the timing, is always use it as fast as you possibly can and hardly move the joystick during that time. Or not joystick, sorry. A lot of you probably play mouse and keyboard. If not, if you're like me and you use controller, yeah, just barely move the joystick. You'll notice that they don't make a lot of distance. So once you learn the timing and how much you genuinely have to move, it's very easy. It's not a lot at all. And then you'll always be able to get the hit, and it'll always be as fast as possible. So boom, we get that down. I think I saw somebody there, but I decided to turn around and go for the other thing. Once again, coming back this way and putting my ability through Killer Shack so they don't go for my ruin. Because it's a really obvious spot. Killer Shack is a really obvious spot. Um, but so basically, boom. So here's a good situation of getting Save the Best for Last stacks. As much as it takes the entire game, Save the Best for Last is for end game anyways. So if it takes all game to get 8 stacks and then the obsession dies while you're at 8 stacks, big fucking whoop. That's what it's for. Then you have 3 other people, 3 gens left because you have Ruin and Pop Goes the Weasel, and they can't do anything because you have 8 stacks of Save the Best for Last and Infectious Fright. You know what I mean? Like, boom, that's a free hit. Let's see if he can even get anywhere. I'm sure he probably hops his pallet. Yep. Probably could have charged my ability right here and shot through and hit him. But I decided to use it right here because once again, she seemed like the type of person to throw down the pallet. And because I knew she threw down the one way back over there, I figured she would. I see these 2 people off Infectious Fright, so I decide to use Cage of Atonement. Alright, so here we go. I actually figured out what it was. That was odd. Honestly, I just had to put my Google Chrome page. I just had to minimize it, and it actually went way better than it was before. Hopefully, it's a lot more smoother. But anyways, this is one of those scenarios where you just go for a random one and it actually gets lucky. Granted, once you learn the timing, I don't even think they have to be at a narrow pathway or palette. You can genuinely just use it if you know the timing correctly, and they don't try to dodge too crazily. If they go side to side like crazy, you just let go and they lose too much distance. But in a scenario like this, that one was kind of ballsy. I just randomly guessed and went for it, and it happened to hit them. They really didn't have an option other than to go through that area, but once again, that was just a random one. Sometimes you get lucky. That one was kind of obvious. She tried to go through that area, didn't know the pallet was there, ran into the pallet. By the time she realized she could vault, I had already used my ability, so no matter what side of the pallet she was on, she was going to get hit by that. Um, Boom, I got my Infectious Fright, but I'm actually going to go for the hook and then invest my time over that way. Actually, I just break the pallet and then come back because somebody decided to hook bomb. And then here's what I do. So here's a good scenario of waiting out the survivor. Look at this. He thought I was just going to use the ability. No, 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 no. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to wait for you to vault the window. And if not, he just has to sit in the corner. I'm going to let go of my ability and hit him. Boom. I go ahead and I use it. Because it's the obsession, I try to just use my ability to get him down, which I do end up doing. I go ahead and hook him. Boom. Oh, wait. Okay. I see the survivor. Go ahead and hit him. Get another stack on Save the Best for Last. So look, right here, I make a mistake. If you notice, my ability goes a little bit too far. I should have did it a little bit over here. This is what I mean. I ended up turning a little too far. So this is what I mean by muscle memory. This is one of my mistakes this game. Um, Basically, boom, I turned a little bit too far. See, she's cutting out right here. she's going to cut out and come around right here, and my ability is going to shoot right here. So if this situation ever happens again, I know next time, don't aim at this cow, actually aim right before the cow, because this is the area where they cut open on. So as soon as she comes out this way, if I don't see her run into the corner, I shoot right here, and she has to get caught because that's exactly where she's going to be lined up at. So anyways, I missed that one. Boom, I come back. This girl, smack her. She went for the unhook. I didn't tunnel, went for this person instead. I actually don't quite know what happens here. Do I hit her? Wow, that was a pretty lucky one too. I see she goes over that way. I wait for her to. This is um this is actually just muscle memory from playing against good survivors against Pyramid Head. I actually knew that she was going to try to dodge because of how Pyramid Heads play as of right now because I play Survivor and I know how they play. So I know the best way to do it is to just, if you ever hear their sword drop down, run exactly back to where you were just coming from. So what I did was I waited. Okay, she ran forward. She heard my thing go down. She didn't see me use my ability, so she was like, okay, he's going to do it right in front of me. So she was like, okay, now I need to turn around and it's going to be way over this way because he's waiting for me to run over here. And I'm going to be way back over here because he's not going to expect me to turn around. Except the difference is I waited it out. And instead of aiming all the way over here, I knew she thought I was going to go here and I knew she was going to come back over this way. So I stayed aiming this way until she ended up making that decision. And then the lineup happens and boom. That is just simply from knowing what the survivor is going to do in that situation. Um, you could partly say luck, partly say muscle memory, I would say. It's a mixture of both. But boom, we get that done. Unfortunately, I had to hit this person, wasted my stacks, but that's all right. She wasn't dead anyways. Um, Once again, we chase the Cheryl. I actually don't know if it was the same Cheryl, but we wait until they vault the window. Go ahead and hit her. As soon as she vaults the window, she's running around this way. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Just fake out my ability, and she loses so much distance trying to do the squiggly squid, and I get a free hit. Once again, sadly, wasting my stacks because it is a obsession. I thought I saw somebody just get off of that gen right there, but apparently they were not on that gen at all. So anyways, basically just trying not to get DS'd here. I find this guy, and then I'm gonna chase this guy all the way through here. Let's see what he does. Boom. Unfortunately, the way this is set up, I do have to follow him, but I broke this pallet, so that saves me some distance. And it looks like she's going through the window. So look, boom. I learned from my mistake. Okay, I knew this time I don't want to aim at this cow. I actually want to aim right before the cow. See, right here. So I see she vaults. Boom. I'm like, all right, she's going this way. I actually preemptively did that. I could have probably aimed more towards this green thing. Instead, I actually aimed right at the exit. But I'm pretty sure this Cheryl knew she just had no choice other than to exit. Otherwise, she was in the corner. So she decided to exit, and it lined up perfectly, and I get her downed. Um, that was me learning from my mistake. It's something you have to learn to do. It takes a long time to do that. I was repetitively making the same mistake over and over and over before this. Not specifically right before this game, but constantly playing this guy. You just have to learn. He's a new killer. It is how it is. And yeah, that's pretty much, I want to say that's pretty much it. I probably just slugged these last two people. I go ahead and I put my ability down in Killer Shack one more time for my ruin. As you notice, nobody has broke my ruin. I noticed she had a key actually. I was like, oh shit, there's actually Hatch. I need to find and kill this dude. Um, I found him. I got the swing. That was nice. There were both of them were back there, but I specifically went for the guy with the key, because the hatch was open. So I hear this guy. I chase him down. You guys can't hear him. Pallet was broke. He didn't have an option. I think he tried to dead hard. I totally fucked that guy. I don't know why this guy was following around. Yeah, just decided to follow around and just stand in the corner. I want to say she knew I had infectious fright and just wanted to make the game end faster because she knew it was over, but who knows. And then yeah, so then boom, final judgment this person, and go ahead and hook this person on this last hook, and yeah, then that's the game. So basically, what to take from this is the most important things would be just learning the timing and where to place your ranged attack. It is very useful. Much more useful than I would say like Deathslinger because it's guaranteed at every pallet you get to hit. Um, with Deathslinger, it's very easy to, I would say, dodge, but with the little to no warning that you get with Pyramid Head, if the Pyramid Head really lines it up perfectly, I think there is no counter to Pyramid Head. I think the one thing he lacks is gen pressure, or sorry, not gen pressure, map pressure, I guess both. Which is why sadly you have to use two gen regression perks. The other build that I use doesn't use two, but there is a counter to it, so the two gen regression perks is much better. You'll see longer games like this, but that's how it has to be sometimes. Um, but yeah, so you just have to use the two gen aggression perks to your maximum ability. Sometimes if you just want to get the free hit and then go circle gens again, that's what you have to do. Get them off gens, let ruin do its work. And yeah, just go around. Like I said, biggest thing, learn the timing on the ability. I'm gonna actually go back to when I hit this guy through this window one more time because it's such a good example. Um, Let me see, when was it? Right here, right? Boom. Because it really does show a lot. Not only do I learn from my mistake, you really get to see that this guy had no option, right? So boom, this guy vaults the window. I wait, literally, wait until I see him. I'll tell you when I use my ability. Ready? I see him vault. Now, as you can see, my hand starts to move now. As soon as I saw this guy start to turn to the left, I was already pre-lined up to where my ability was right before the cow because I remembered from last time. But I remembered, so boom, I lined it up preemptively and I used my ability as fast as I possibly could. And by the time it hit him, because it was ranged, I had to use it a little bit early. And by the time it hit him, he was directly lined up right in the middle. There was no way for this guy to dodge this. He had not enough time. He did not have enough time to dodge this. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. Um, just learn the timing. He is a really good killer. As much as he's an M1 killer, his ability does help him extremely. It makes pretty much every vault and every pallet unusable. You can either fake it or you can use it, and if you know the timing, when you use it, you should hit it every time. And yeah, so that's pretty much going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the guide for the new killer Pyramid Head, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.